Hi everyone, welcome to my review of the last Hunger Games movie. This is it, at least until they decide to rehash, reboot, or re-sequelize, because you know this made a lot of money, and Hollywood is all about money when it comes to movies, even though we like to try and forget that. It is the movie business. I tried to forget that going in to see the new Hunger Games movie because I love this series so much, and of course I am talking about the final film, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. So this is my review. I saw it in IMAX, IMAX Lite, die in IMAX, whatever. But I wanted to see it. You know, if this is the final film, if this is it, then I kind of wanted to see it proper way. I really wanted to try and see the proper way. I saw the first film in IMAX, saw the second film in IMAX. The Part 1 never really was in IMAX, but this one is, so that's the way I saw it, and this will be my review based on that. I just love this series so much. I love this story, and I remember going into Hunger Games and not being that excited. We had just witnessed what young adult series movies are like with the Twilight series, and I thought that's what we were getting with this one. That's what I thought. I mean, honestly, that's what I thought before seeing the Hunger Games. And I walked out of the first film really blown away by the story. You know, it's an idea that we've seen before on screen, but I really loved the characters, and I loved the journey that they went on. It was very emotional, and I loved the shaky cam to it. It felt like a documentary. It felt pretty real. It almost felt real, and I liked the whole contrast between Katniss Everdeen's world and the Capitol's world. I loved all that. And then a year later, we got Catching Fire, and most people think that's a better film. I can't argue with that. I think that movie's a better film, even though I still love The Hunger Games the most, the first one. I have to say that Catching Fire is the better film. You know, I'm worried when these films are put into two parts. I can't help but be worried. Of course, it's all about money, and it worked for worked for Harry Potter. It kind of worked for Twilight, because I actually would say I liked the last Twilight movie, kind of. Not really that much, but whatever. And I think this is just going to be something we're going to see a lot when it comes to these young adults. If it's so popular, they're probably going to turn Divergent into, you know, more books and, I mean, more parts and stuff like that when it gets down to the very end. So that's the case with this one. I know I'm rambling on. I just want to let you know that I do love this series. And I love... I shouldn't say love. I enjoyed Part 1. Even though the whole film was set up, and I remember when that movie was over, I just said, can I just see the last one now? Well, a year has passed, I have seen it, and what I will say, just clarify, this is just a fan with an opinion. If you disagree, that is totally okay. This is just my feelings on Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. It really feels like the filmmakers... Now, I've never read the books, except for, I would say I read the first book. I have to say I did read the first book. But I feel like the series just had an amazing beginning and middle, but I feel like the filmmakers didn't know how to end it. Now, I've never read Mockingjay. I've never read Catching Fire. But I remember hearing a friend when these movies were coming out, or actually we were talking about the first Hunger Games, and I remember him telling me that his least favorite book was Mockingjay. So, I don't know. I'd be curious to see what he has to say about the film, because, you know, did it kind of pretty much tell what happened in Mockingjay? That's what I'm interested about or curious about. Especially if anybody's watching this, have you seen Mockingjay Part 2 and Part 1? And have you read the book, and is it pretty much the same, or is it different? You know, I'd really like to know. But for me, it feels like the weakest... At least this part, this final part, is the weakest aspect of the entire film series. It's so tough to say that, and I'm fine if somebody turns off the video right now. It was nice knowing you, and thank you for at least watching up to this point. But I just have to be perfectly honest with you. I'm really disappointed with the way this series ended. There are things that I did enjoy about this film. I loved some of the creature feature aspect. I love the way the film looked, the special effects. I love Jennifer Lawrence, and I love the rest of the cast. And it's nice to see Philip Seymour Hoffman, even though sometimes he looked like he was a CGI character sometimes. It was nice to see him in one more movie. This is his last film that he'll ever be in. So it was nice to see that. So I think some of the performances are strong in the movie. And I do like when they get into the Capitol and there's they're dealing with what the game makers have made, and then when they go underground and it becomes some creature feature aspects to it and some great action sequences. But it just feels like the first part of the movie took a while to get going. It really took a while to collect my interest. I just didn't know what to make of it. I was never entirely, I would say throughout this entire film, I was never emotional at all. Not even at the bitter end. It just never really grabbed me emotionally. But there's things that I actually enjoyed about the film that would come out every once in a while, and then it would kind of lag and get to the next point. But I really feel that there was a lot of nothing, and then near the end, a lot of rush something, and then certain characters, I don't want to spoil what happens to certain characters, but when some stuff happens to them, I can't say I felt anything. Now, I'm fine and content with the final moments of the movie. I'm not going to tell you what the final moments of the film are. I'm content with that. I'm fine with that. But I will say the final act left me perplexed. I just felt like the writers, or maybe Susan herself, didn't really know how to end the story. Didn't really have a complex, profound ending to this really interesting story, this interesting journey, these great characters. I love Katniss Everdeen. I think she's a very complex, interesting character, and she's interesting a little bit in this movie, but not a lot. I felt that Jennifer Lawrence seemed like she was tired of being in this series. I think she was ready to move on. That's how I feel like watching her performance in the movie. It felt like she was ready to move on and continue this amazing career that she has. It's really a shame, and I just can't help but feel bummed out, man. I'm bummed, dude. I'm bummed, man. I'm a little I'm sad. I'm a little sad the way the series kind of wrapped up. Again, I love this series. I'm definitely going to own the whole collection on Blu-ray. I actually have Hunger Games right now, and I think I might just wait till it's a 4-pack and then just buy them all together. And I look forward to sitting there and watching all 4 films. Of course, the first 2 I'm probably going to be more into, but I think the final one, I'll be interested to watch it again and see if things have changed. I've had some time to think about it, and maybe a second viewing, I might enjoy the film a little bit more. But as of right now, I just can't help but feel just numb. I can't help but feel a little numb inside after watching it. It just seemed like they didn't really know how to end it. And it's hard. I know it's extremely hard when it comes to these movie trilogies. Sometimes, they just can't live up to it. Like with the Matrix trilogy, where that went. And I like the Matrix films. When it came to the original Star Wars movie, I love Return of the Jedi, but some people think that's probably the weakest of the series when it comes to the original trilogy. And sometimes it succeeded, with Lord of the Rings, and stuff like that. So it's really hard. I just have this really mixed feeling right now. So I'm gonna end it right now and just collect my thoughts a little bit more and think about it. And maybe someday I'll watch it again and I'll get something more out of it the second time. So when it comes down to my final review, after you think, I pretty much have been a downer through this entire review, I do like aspects of this film. I really do. I think there's some really good stuff in this movie. As a whole, I can't say it's a great film. It's just not a great way to end the series. But it's a decent one. It is what it is. I'm going to have to live with it for now. And maybe my opinion will get worse or get better as time goes on. But there you go. And I'm going to be very kind. I tell you, I'll be very kind because I just love this series so much. I'll be very kind, and I love these characters so much. And I do love somewhat of the journey that they went on in this final movie. So for that, I am going to give Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. I'm going to give it a slight 3 stars out of 4. Mainly because of the acting, the production value and the special effects, mainly because of that. So in the comment box below, am I totally wrong? Did I miss the boat? But I'll just let you know, I love Hunger Games. I really do. I have a passion for this story. So what you're hearing is my honest reaction to the final film. All right, everyone. Talk to you later. Peace be with you, my friends.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video. And also, please check out these amazing movie websites. And if you enjoyed this review, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and also please check out all my recent reviews right here on YouTube. Have a great day, live film, find peace, happiness, and harmony in anything and everything you do, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review.